7 years after one of the most shocking family murders of the 21st century, a new twist has emerged. The long-rumored mistress of Chris Watts.
Why would you wipe out your family to be with me?
Has finally been spotted. Even now, the spotlight on this case hasn't cooled. If anything, it's intensified. Now in 2025, for the first time, we have credible sightings and leads pointing to a woman who may have played a pivotal role behind the scenes of that awful summer.
Did you ever say anything to him about
Never.
anything about his kids being a problem, anything about his wife being a problem?
Never.
Who is she? Where has she been? And what does her reappearance mean for a case once thought closed? Let's dive into the chilling truth behind the mystery of the Chris Watts mistress.
He's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him.
Why? How? I don't even understand how you could bring yourself to do that to somebody who's that big.
Revealing more than just her identity, but the impact that her return could have on everyone involved. Revisiting the case that shocked a nation back in August 2018, the world watched in horrified fascination as Chris Watts confessed to murdering his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste. What began as a seemingly perfect young family in Colorado unraveled into a horrific story of betrayal, denial, and violence. Watts's televised admission sent shockwaves through communities, true crime platforms, and everyday households. He was sentenced to multiple life terms without parole, and the case seemed sealed. Until now, almost from the beginning, rumors swirled about a woman at the center of Watts's infidelity, a mistress, who may have influenced or even motivated the murders. Investigative journalists mentioned references to text messages and sightings. Friends and friends of friends came forward, saying they'd seen Watts involved with another woman prior to the tragedy. But without concrete evidence, these claims never solidified into mainstream coverage. Until now, a small Colorado town in early spring of 2025, a credible account emerged from a waitress in a small Colorado cafe just 30 miles from Friedrich. The woman, described as in her early 30s with dark hair and a distinctive tattoo on her wrist, was seen quietly entering and leaving. The timing, midday, often alone, always looking over her shoulder, has sparked speculation. Locals recognized her from one of the few known photos of Watts's alleged relationship. She didn't say much, the waitress recalled, but she ordered coffee like she'd been through hell. This sighting set off a new chain of inquiries. Amateur sleuths, true crime podcasters, and even former prosecutors joined the search. Now, with multiple tip lines flooded, recirculating supposed sightings from across multiple states, Colorado investigators are restarting parts of the original inquiry, this time focusing on the woman's identity, background, and ties to Watts. While no formal suspect or witness statement has come forward yet, the renewed interest means one thing: the case isn't done. Witness accounts alone won't change a conviction. Chris Watts is already serving life, no parole. However, the mistress's reemergence might influence sentencing, parole hearings, or lead to new charges, particularly if she aided in concealing evidence, transported items, or coached Watts in covering his tracks. Colorado prosecutors have publicly said they're examining whether to open a complicity line, investigating whether she helped Watts in substantial ways. Though parole isn't an option, additional charges, or even a plea agreement to support other legal actions, could still be on the table. The emotional impact on family and community. For Shanann's family, this development is a fresh, brutal reminder of the trauma they experienced. Receiving new evidence, or hope of it, can reopen wounds that had begun to heal. On social media, memorials for Bella and Celeste momentarily returned to the top of local feeds, with supporters flooding forums to demand answers about the mysterious woman. In the broader community, years of healing were coursed over by renewed public attention, prompting caution from friends and neighbors still processing the tragedy. This isn't the first time a suspect's romantic partner resurfaces years after a major case, raising legal and emotional stakes all over again. True, crime historians draw parallels to cases where latent DNA or new witness testimony shifted how juries and judges perceived intent and influence. The mistress figure in these dynamics often becomes a focal point in re-evaluations. Was she a manipulative mastermind, a coerced witness, or merely another pawn in a tragic chess match? In Chris Watts's case, her true role could reshape everything we thought we knew. Reporters have pieced together the few clues available. The consistent elements: early 30s, likely from the Front Range or Denver metro, possibly pregnant or recently pregnant at the time of the murders, known to have had a volatile past or history of unstable relationships. Some tips reference a short-lived relationship during Watts's separation, while others say she was present in weeks after Shanann's disappearance. Her public reappearance suggests she's been living discreetly, or is perhaps seeking closure. Sharing her story could be a final bid to make sense of what happened. Many believe that if she comes forward, it will be behind closed doors or under legal protection, like a motion for anonymity or an interview conducted off camera. The case's notoriety and ongoing risk to her privacy make open confrontation unlikely. That said, lawyers involved in reopened parts of the investigation may offer a subpoena or witness protection, in which case, the story may emerge through court transcripts instead of slick TV interviews. As with many true crime revivals, comment sections are flooded with speculation, photos compared side by side, months-old tweets resurfacing as evidence, and conspiracy threads linking the mistress to extended topics like cults or covert operations. But seasoned detectives caution against this noise. However compelling, many leads fall apart when cross-checked. Timestamps, clothing, locations off by 1 mile. In this haze of online reckoning, trueness matters as much as theory. How this might reshape Watts's own narrative. Watts's earlier statements painted him as a man at the end of his rope, alone, manic, without a plan. But the mistress's return could rewrite that. If she influenced him, provoked him, or was present in the immediate aftermath of the murders, it casts all of Watts's claims in a new light. What he described as a breakdown could have been a manifest manipulation. Whether it undermines or buttresses his strategy to mitigate culpability is up to investigators and legal experts. They're watching. As of mid-2025, Colorado authorities have reopened interviews with former acquaintances of Watts. They've taken new tape statements and are tracking financial trails to see if she migrated tattered funds or paid silent rooms after the murder. No arrest warrants have been issued, and no public identification has been confirmed. Authorities remain tight-lipped, saying only that leads are being followed and evidence is being verified. What to watch for in the coming months? Keep an eye on local Colorado court dockets. New filings or sealed motions could indicate movement. Podcast gold may emerge from rediscovered text messages, photos, or voice notes released under subpoena. In national media, any book deal or attempted book deal by the mistress or someone connected to Watts could carry revelations. And finally, if the mistress is indeed real and willing to surface, expect dramatic court appearances, guarded interviews, or at minimum, a legal filing that will spark another wave of true crime coverage. The sighting of Chris Watts's alleged mistress is more than just late-breaking gossip. It's a powerful example of how true crime stories can evolve long after conviction. As this woman steps back into the picture, even at the margins, she reignites questions, grief, and curiosity. We might never know her full story, but the hunt is underway, the search is alive, and nothing, even after 7 years, is truly closed. Stay tuned. This story is far from over. If you're as captivated as we are, join our deep dive series, captured on courtroom camera, the Diddy trial moments. Because sometimes, the final twists don't come in court transcripts, they come in whispers.